everyone, and welcome to the morning show on a very cold and blacky Monday morning.
It sure is.
It
It
is,
sure is.
wow. I was on a little vacay last week and came back to this. So I don't know if you can blame it on me or what, but woof.
It's Ohio. You stick around today, and it might be different. It might be 80 degrees tomorrow.
You're exactly right. This is all we walk around going all the time.
That's the sound of winter
It's
around
just
here.
like my eyes and my nose. But anyway, well, welcome. Missed y'all. So I'm glad to be back. And thanks to everybody that filled in for me while I was gone. We greatly appreciate that. We are here today with our good friend Morgan Washam, who don't tell anyone he skipped school today. He really didn't. They were out of school. I was trying to get him in trouble, but he said, no, we didn't have school because it's President's Day.
Yes, I was lucky to be able to come in because of that today. So I was appreciative of the holiday, and we thank goodness for the
Well,
good presidents. We can honor them.
thank you, presidents. Thank you, federal government, for giving Morgan the day off from teaching so that he could come in and hang out with us this
Exactly.
morning.
Exactly.
Well, we have some very, very cool announcements that Morgan's going to share with you here in just a moment. But we have a message, and then we'll be right back.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Belicio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Belicio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Belicio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at beliciofoods.com/careers.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Morgan Washam. And Morgan, not only are you a wonderful teacher, but you are an incredibly talented artist and musician, if you will. And we're so
Thank
happy
you.
to have you here in the studio today.
We're glad to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we always have a lot of fun when
We
you
do.
when you
We
come
do.
in.
I think I've been on here 3 or 4 times now. Maybe this is my 4th.
Yeah, so we always have a good time.
Yeah.
So you are here though to make some announcements today. Talk about, of course, one of the things that you've been doing for a few years. Then maybe we'll get something else out of you. You never know.
Well, yes. One thing I do in addition to my teaching career is I have been putting on these concerts called Jackson County Roots now for about 5 years here in the community,
Has
and
it been that long?
it has been since 2019. So I bet we skipped a year with the
Well, of
COVID
course.
when the Apple Festival didn't happen. So, but
Yeah.
but for about 5 years that's been going on, and we've been doing that annually at Lillian Jones. And we didn't do it last year at Lillian Jones. We took a break, but we've been doing
That's
it.
a whole neither here
Yes,
nor
we've
there.
been doing it, but we started out. It was just a concert to promote arts and songwriting in the community. It kind of evolved to the point where we thought, well, let's start an organization, and so some like-minded individuals that support this. We got together and we decided we're going to create a nonprofit corporation out of Jackson County Roots, and so with the purpose of putting on concerts to raise funds for musical education charities and arts charities. So that's what that's all about, and it's all about having fun and promoting those things, and and making the community better through that. So
Absolutely. And I don't know if it's our Welsh heritage or what it is, but boy, oh boy, are there so many talented musicians and artists here in our community that you may never know. I mean, there's like people that you meet that are like, out moonlighting, singing and whatever, and you have no idea how talented they are, whether they're musicians or singers or whatever. It's crazy.
music's in the soul, and I think music's in the soul of this land, and the people that live here, and
You're right.
I just think that's part of it, and you take it with you wherever you are. If you whether you play it or you listen to it, you hear it, and it's just it's a wonderful thing, and or at least it is to me, and I like to share it with others and share that aspect of it.
Is there anybody that ever, says, I don't like music?
I've not heard too many.
I mean, who does? No matter what your genre of music,
Right.
is, it doesn't matter. And I don't know. It's also in the heart of our little Appalachian heritage
It
too.
sure is.
Um, it was like interesting. I was talking to one of our kitchen guys who's really into music, and we were talking. Somehow Chris Stapleton came up, and he's
Hmm.
like, "Well, did you hear him when he was in the band, whatever?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know that
The
was a
Steel
thing."
Drivers. Is that
Yes,
what it was?
and
Or
it's like more
bluegrass
bluegrassy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, well, play me some." So we were, back there working in the kitchen, and he's playing. I'm like, "This is awesome."
Yeah. He's outstanding, obviously, but yes.
Well, obviously, but I was like, "Wow, like that's so cool that we've gone from here to there to whatever." And I don't know, just like all of this different music, it's in our souls, and
You
and we
hear
love
that
it.
too. I think you hear it in Chris's voice too. You hear there's this, I don't know, just something deep that you.
Oh
It's
God, he's
just
so
this.
soulful.
It's just this soul that comes out of
Yeah.
him, and
Oh,
and it works for bluegrass, it works for country or alt country and rock and roll. I mean that it works for that. But I mean you feel that when you hear you just know it. It's something you hear that and you're like, oh wow, and
so
it's just
passionate.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So and that's awesome. I wish I had your talent. I'm
Oh.
so envious of it. Never really I guess I was the kid that was forced to take piano lessons and finally got to quit. And
It's never too late.
When the
Yeah, it's
parents
never too late.
decided, okay, she really is just not like this
You could
very much.
pick it back up. It's
I
never too
could.
late. That's the beautiful thing about music. It's something you can do your whole life.
That's true. And it's like riding a bike. It never leaves your body once it's there.
Oh, I know. Sometimes, I believe it or not. I mean, I like to play music, and I do play music. But there's times where I get busy and life happens, and
Ye-
I go by and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've not played for. It's been like almost a month or something. And
Yeah,
I'm
like I haven't held my
I
guitar.
haven't even held it, and but like you say, it's like a bicycle. You pick back up and you just get lost in it, or at least I do, and it's the best gift of all, in my opinion, because it just
I could see that.
it's something that everyone can take part in, whether you're a listener or you're the musician. You can all take part in it from a different
You're
way.
right.
And,
It's
and
all encompassing for
Yes.
sure. For sure. Well, let's talk about Jackson County roots. So
Yes.
you have kind of started where it's grown so much. And again, this is I think at first you started just to like share local musicians and the talent and just have the community get together and have fun. Well, then it becomes like, well, this thing's growing. Let's do good from it.
Well, and that's kind of what we were thinking. We're doing
Yeah.
this thing. Let's channel it in a way. We were kind of doing it to break even, and which and obviously we want to do that, but we were doing it to break even to begin with. But then we thought, well, we've got people together. People are aware of what we're doing. Let's keep going with this and take it to the next eventual step, which we did. And so we're having this show at the Marquee. It's going to be coming up May 17th.
Oh,
So 3
you
months
heard it
from today,
here.
3 months from today, it will be happening
Yep.
at the Marquee, and it will be the second Jackson County Roots Folk Festival concert. We had the first one last year in March of last year, and of course this one we bumped a little closer to the nice weather, but
Yep.
which is fine with us. We've got the Red Brush Band headlining that for us.
Hello.
Their 30th anniversary this year, so that's pretty special, and we're really glad to have.
Oh,
Woot and
you
the
want
guys
to talk
out to
about
do
some talent.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Those guys like were born like they were born and with instruments in their hands, I feel like.
Yeah, they've been a great influence of mine over the years in terms of music, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done for myself and this community. I mean, it's just remarkable. Of course, Dwight is well missed, and
Oh,
I
our big old white-haired teddy bear.
yeah, he's missed very much, but at the same time they endure, and it's honestly it's as good as it's ever been
Yeah.
right now, and they've got the harmonies and the instrumentation with what they've got going on. And it's outstanding. So we're glad to have them back. We also have Ethan Michael and
I think Paul's out there.
and his family. Oh, it's okay. You have Ethan Michael and his family band coming
Yes.
to play.
Love that.
And Ethan, I'll tell you, Ethan has, and I know he stood in for me last year to promote this show, but
Yes.
here on the show, but he has what I think is the quintessential song about southeastern Ohio.
It is so
You know
good.
which one I'm
I
talking about.
do know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
He needs to get that out and recorded and released because it is the quintessential song. So if you don't come for any other reason, you could come to hear Ethan play that song. I hope he plays it.
Please.
We also have Ange McGillicuddy, which AKA Andy Milliken. And he's going by, that's his stage persona these days.
Is it really?
It is. Ange McGillicuddy and or Ange McGillicuddy.
Ange?
Yes, and
okay, there's got to be a story.
you'll have to ask Andy.
Okay.
I don't know the
We
story
got to get
behind
Andy
that.
in here to talk about that. Okay.
And he's going to be with Dan Canterbury, who's from Athens Way, and Dan does some harmonica work with him and some other stuff there. So
Okay.
we're looking forward to seeing them. And then we've got Mitch Rose coming back, and he performed
Okay.
last year at it. Mitch is an actor and a songwriter, and from Jackson. He lives
Sure.
in Columbus Way. He lived in New York City for many years, and Cleveland, and he's back in Columbus now. But we're grateful to have him back and doing some of his originals there. Also have let's see, John Reister is going to be up from
Okay.
Kentucky, and of course
Yep.
he's a Jackson County native.
Yep.
He is a violin maker. I don't know if you call a violin maker a luthier, but he is a maker of fine violins, and I hope he's going to bring a couple of the
Or
those
fiddles
with him.
if you're from
fiddle,
here.
yeah, fiddles. Yes, I think his company is called J. Reister Violins,
Yes.
and but he makes some beautiful instruments that are
Again,
being played all over the
How
world
do you
right
start?
now.
How do you do that? Like, how do you start doing that?
I think he did some type of apprenticeship, perhaps
is
through
wild.
the Arts Council in Kentucky, and took off from there. But he's got a passion for it,
So
and
cool.
has some great stories to tell, and will tell some great stories and play some great music, of course.
Good.
And then we have local Brian Gould, who's from Colton Way. He's going to be playing some music that day on his acoustic guitar, and then Evan Brown is going to play for the event, and as well my group Wildwood Franklin is going to perform for a set as well. So,
Are you
yes,
okay?
so.
Dust off the old guitar and get all
Yeah,
that-
dust it
No.
off, and we haven't played for a minute, but we'll be back at it. So
Well, that is so cool. Number one, I'm gonna say, did you design that logo? Because that is like
I
the
did.
coolest logo.
I did,
don't-
actually.
It's like so just perfect.
I appreciate
For-
that. Thank you
for
It's
what
one-
you're
it's
doing.
One of my hats. I guess.
It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So I love that. Well, let's talk about the importance of music in our community, and what you all are doing to help, especially like the kids in the community, with Jackson County Roots.
Well, we hope that we've given a little bit of money. We were able to give a little bit from the show. We hope that we can keep expanding on that and be able to. The ultimate goal was to be able to have like an application process where someone can basically fill out the application. If they can show the need, we want to give them a scholarship to put an instrument in the hand of a kid. That's what we're looking to do.
Amazing.
Ultimately. We didn't quite do it that way last year, but we're just getting started with this organization, and we didn't quite realize some of the costs and things that are involved in staying in business, even as a nonprofit. So we,
right.
so some things got diverted that way, but we were very happy that we were able to give a sizable donation to, or well, in our minds, a sizable donation for what we had to give to the Jackson Band Boosters. So we were happy to be able to do that last year to start it out. So.
Very cool. And I think a lot of folks don't understand, if you don't have a kid in music or in band or wanting to just learn to play an instrument, it is not cheap. It seems like it should be cheap because it's you holding an instrument and that's it.
Well,
But it is not cheap.
ongoing with it. There's maintenance, and the instruments. I mean, they're a work of art. I mean,
Yes,
if
they
you
are.
look at a trombone or a trumpet or a brass instrument, there's lots of tubing. I mean, it is an art form just to manufacture one of these instruments,
Sure.
and so there's a lot that goes into it, and things aren't as at the cost they used to be, of course.
No, definitely not.
So but I think hopefully we can extend the gift of music to others, and if we can do that, we've been successful. And so
And I think there's so many organizations. I don't know. That's one of the great things about living in a small community is I think that, especially a creative community like we are, that people understand that it's important to keep our youth involved or get them involved, whether it be in sports or cheerleading or, esports or whatever it may be, but music especially, to
yeah.
get them started early.
I agree, and if they, a lot of kids don't even know that's an outlet for them, perhaps if they don't have the
You don't
opportunity to
know-
do that. And
Yeah,
so,
you don't know whether you can sing, you don't know whether you can play something,
right?
or how that makes you feel.
Or right, and just having the opportunity to, if that spark is there a little bit, and the parents or someone in the family sees that, or a teacher or whomever, and can just give that little nudge, it can make all the difference in someone's life, change it forever. So
Yeah, you wonder how many opera singers are that never got the chance, or
Right.
of all of these people. So, well, very cool. And so May
May 17th.
17th, and that will be at the Marquee. Are tickets on sale right now?
I don't know if they have them on sale yet, but it'll be at marquetickets.org, and you can get your tickets there. I would say if they're not up yet, they'll be very soon. And you can check us out on social media, Jackson County Roots. We're on social media and Facebook, of course. There's an event, and there's a link there. You could check it out at that point. We've not quite gotten an official website yet. That's an area we're currently working toward that.
Hey, we're working toward it.
Right.
It's okay. It's a work in progress.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit. Is there anything else you're working on that you can announce here on Main Street
Well,
TV?
I've been working on an album here for a couple of years, but it just seems like life keeps getting in the way of that, and I'm like teaching's my main gig right now. But I hope to have a new record out here in the next year. So I want to do it right, and I mean I don't know I've got many songs I could release. I guess it's one of those things like it's the plumber's pipes sometimes are the worst pipes, but in terms of getting done, I am an audio engineer, and I've had a business recording music. So you think, well, why can't that guy get his music recorded? Well, sometimes there's always extenuating circumstances.
And
but
your stuff goes on the back burner,
it
right?
goes on the back burner, and that's okay. I've recorded some stuff, and I'm sure I'll get something out here in the near future. It just I don't know. I want it to be the way I want it. And I'm
Sure.
just like, so I'm not willing to compromise on certain things. And right now I'm in the middle of building a house. And so
God.
it's or an add-on to my home. And so that's kind of been keeping me from
That's a
progressing
full-time
with
job.
That is in addition
It
to
is.
my real full-time job,
Right.
which is education. So that's kind of hindered me a little bit, but I'm not looking at it as a hindrance. It's actually going to be something where we're sowing the seeds and the foundation for the future, and it should be a great thing. So we're looking forward to getting in that.
Well, good luck.
Thank
Best of luck to you. But no, so this is so exciting. Jackson County Roots coming up in May, and some other fun stuff along the way. And just remember that not only is this going to be a killer concert, you're also helping out.
Yeah.
Along the way. You're helping local artists.
You're helping local artists. You're helping local music charities. You're helping the Marquee Cultural Arts Center.
Absolutely.
We're partnered with them. Of course, I can't. And I got to say, our sponsors, Total Media, Iron City Pipe and Supply, Always Construction, and 6 Sense Brewing Company. We couldn't do it without sponsors. So, I mean, the
Sure.
bottom line, we couldn't do it without you all and the Marquee. I mean, and hopefully we can raise some money for these charities in the Marquee and keep arts and music happening in our community and as an outlet for young people. And I think that's, since the Marquee has been renovated, and I mean, I would think if anyone who's part of this community in Jackson County, Ohio,
Oh my gosh.
since the Marquee has been renovated, it has been a beacon for revitalization
Of our downtown,
of
for
our
sure.
downtown community.
Absolutely.
And it's just such a wonderful blessing that we have that. And so
Yes, it is.
hopefully people can come out and enjoy what we have there at the Marquee, enjoy some local songwriters, and and help promote some music charities for young people.
And again, the lobby of the Marquee always has a beautiful show going on.
Oh,
so
yeah, they'll-
it's like two
yes.
for one if you
It
go
sure is.
if you go in there.
It
so
sure is.
absolutely. Well, make sure you keep updated. We'll have you back before
appreciate that. Yeah,
the
I'd love to
show
come back.
happens. For sure. Now, are you planning on doing the Apple Festival show as well so far this year?
So far this year, we are planning on doing
Okay.
the Apple Festival again. Yeah, I talked to Ashley Aldrich, the director
Yes.
there, and she's actually my neighbor. It's kind of ironic. She's my next door neighbor.
Oh, cool.
And it was so funny. I used to live on Pearl Street. She was my next door neighbor there, and then I moved out Campbell Way. She's my next door neighbor there.
No.
She followed me out there. I was like, wow. So,
You must be the best neighbor ever.
well, you'd have to ask her. I don't know, but no, but I'm very very happy if we can get back there this year. And we had a lot of irons in the fire last year and kind of wanted to regroup. We didn't want to be less than what it could be.
Sure.
And just with sometimes you got to make those tough calls, and we did. So, but hopefully we'll be back there this fall. And I feel like it was a nice addition to what was happening at the Apple Festival. So,
Yes, definitely.
So, and it was always nice because I had that covered tent. It was a place where people could kind of come in and take a break out of the sun,
They
or,
can.
or
Yep.
get out of the weather. And we were doing that under the tent, and hopefully we will still be doing that under the tent.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. They can come down, get out of the kind of hustle and bustle of the festival, chill out for a little bit, and then go back.
It's nice to be in Lillian's Lawn. I can't think of any better place to hang out in this community. I mean, anyone that has lived or lived in this community, or went to Kennison School at any capacity there, the memories come flooding back,
Oh my
and
God.
it's very nostalgic, but it's also
Yes.
it's very beautiful there, and so it's one of the most beautiful spots in all of the community. in my
Do
opinion.
not kick the ball onto Lillian's lawn because you will never see it again. Do not go onto Lillian's lawn
Well,
as a child.
As a child, yes.
Yes. She's okay now with it.
Well, I'll
but-
tell you, a couple years ago, they had the Pee Wee football players lining up for the parade in her lawn. I couldn't help but think during the Apple
she's
Festival.
just
parade. And
rolling.
I thought, well,
Oh,
she's being a very good sport.
Oh,
she's being a very
Lillian.
good sport, and those young people,
God
bless their
bless her.
heart, they were very polite.
Yes.
And very respectful.
Very good. They obviously did not go to Kennison. Which we did.
Yes.
So, well, very, very good. So you brought your guitar.
I did.
You want to give us a little taste of what somebody might
love
hear at the
to.
Roots concert?
I'd love to.
Let's do that. And then we'll be back with our friend Paul Pollard to talk about the Rec W
The
recording workshop. Yep.
All right, this is one I'm going to play for you this morning. I may have played it before on here, but it's kind of special to me. It's called Peace of Mind. I wrote it 6 years ago during this time of the year, and I had my daughters and my father sitting there, and it just came out. And
Okay.
they kind of appeared out of nowhere. But I mean, it had some great influences and inspiration. for
Sure.
me, so.
Absolutely.
Well, here I am, I'm all alone. Need someone to lead me home. I long to be deep in your arms. It's where I'll find some peace of mind. I've learned what love really meant with you. I've learned what life looks like when you're true to yourself. Forsaken hearts can only be blue. So forgive them and just find the peace of mind that's inside you. Tonight I'll see light in me. Find someone and lead them home. your heart is where they'll find some peace of mind. Embrace the quiet that's within you. Feel the warming light that you keep inside, where the stillness speaks at the eyes of creation. Go create now and just find the peace of mind that's inside you. Here I am, all alone. I need someone to lead me home. I long to be deep in your arms. It's where I'll find some peace of mind.
Woo!
Thank you.
The crowd goes wild.
Thank you.
Morgan Washam, everyone. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. Don't forget Jackson County Roots concert coming up in May on the 17th. We will have you back before then.
Appreciate it so much, Jen.
We appreciate you spending your morning with us.
Pleasure.
He has a day off school and he comes hangs with us.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we will be back in just a moment with our good friend Paul Pollard after this break.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
All right, and welcome back. We are here with our good friend Paul Pollard, who I feel like we've known for 7,000 years each other.
Been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
A few years. I'm well. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah. He's already trying to recruit me to sing, and I said, you don't want that.
Well, Morgan inspired us, he had the guitar, and he's out of here. He's off to another gig, apparently.
That dude opens his mouth and magic comes out. It's
know.
just it's ridiculous in a good way.
One of those guys.
Just one of those guys.
Yeah.
And if you knew his dad, who was my teacher at Jackson High School, who was awesome, by the way, Kent, he had that big booming voice too. So it does not surprise me in
Runs
any
in the
way,
family,
shape, or
as they
form
say.
that yes. So we missed Mr. Washam. He was wonderful.
Oh.
All right, so Paul Pollard here. You had me confused with the Rec W, so recording workshops, short for that, right?
Right.
Okay. Whew, I'm blonde. You gotta give a
It's
girl.
okay. It's all right.
Woof,
We'll just
woof.
slow down. We'll back up a little bit.
Yeah, let's back up. Welcome, and it's so fun to have you here to talk about because you have your irons in a lot of fires. But
Yeah, I got a couple of those irons going on, right?
yes,
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about today?
So today, let's talk about careers
Sure.
and passion.
Love that.
and an alternative to traditional education. How about we do that?
Sold.
Sold. Let's do it. So I am from one of my projects, you might say, is a place called the Rec W. Used to be called the Recording Workshop years ago. And it happens to be the first music production school in the world. And it's located in Chillicothe, Ohio.
Yeah, say that again.
So it's the first music production school ever, and it's located in Chillicothe, Ohio. So we have a 30-acre campus with 10 recording studio classrooms, plus a theater, 17 buildings, on-campus housing. We've had 21,000 graduates from 70 different countries, and all 50 states attend our school over the last 55 years.
And where?
Chillicothe, Ohio. I know.
Who knew?
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I'm just going to tell you, that's crazy.
I know it is. I know. I feel so blessed to be part of it. So I worked there between 1987 and 2008. And then left and went out on my own and got into a couple of other businesses, and then came back and acquired the school during the pandemic. And we changed the name. We shortened the name from the Recording Workshop to the Rec W, so we could teach more than just recording.
Okay.
Because today's world is much, much more than just recording, although recording and the foundation of signal flow and how you get sound from a microphone to your recording system, to your distribution system, to your platforms, you know, but it's all the same. And so that's what we teach. And I thought I'd come out today and share some information that if there's anyone out there that's interested in this kind of thing, there is an option for you.
You know, and that is so cool because, you know, you think of recording and you think of, okay, music. Well, there's all kind of different things that are recorded. There's podcasts and I mean,
we had
I can't imagine how it's changing daily.
So in the last few weeks, we've had Stacy Hempel, one of our grads, did the sound for the Grammys. Doug Deems did the broadcast sound for the Super Bowl. Derek Dixie produced the on-field show that was just before the Super Bowl, the tribute to New Orleans music.
Yeah.
That was one of our grads that produced that piece.
Look at that. That is so cool.
So it's much, much more than just recording a song that you play on Spotify or Pandora or or Pure Country or Pure Rock, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's that too. So we have grads that do sound for movies. Carlos Cortez, one of our grads, he's originally from Colombia, but I think he lives in LA now. But he won an Oscar for Best Sound for The Sound of Metal, about the drummer who went deaf playing music a couple years ago. So our grads have really done amazing things.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, and so it all starts in Chillicothe, you know, at this school. So
that is why. Can you imagine coming from Columbia to Chillicothe, Ohio? It'd be like,
oh my God, I've got some stories.
I'll bet.
Wow, I don't even know where to start, but yeah. So we have it pretty together these days, you know.
Yes.
But as the school came of age, you know, we would have housing and rent housing, or we would pick people up from the airport, right? And sometimes the staff would pick people up from the airport. We got to where we just rented a bus or a limousine or something like that to pick people up at the airport. But it used to be staff would just pick them up in the 80s or whatever. I remember this story. I don't even know if I should tell it, but who cares?
Oh, yeah, do it.
So one of our instructors went up to pick up some folks, and we had like 6 people at the airport to pick up. And one was from Colombia, let's say, or Brazil or something like that, and one was from Germany. So we've got these folks that don't speak English that well.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty well. And they pick them up, and the guy's car blows up on the way down in the middle of the summer. And they hitchhike. And they they hitchhike, and they get a ride in the back of this pickup truck to go from where they're broken down to like a store so they can actually call, because this is pre-cell phone,
way before
right?
cell phones, yeah.
So there's, you know, animals involved in the back of this truck, and there's people from Colombia, and it was just quite a story. But
Hey, it was an
but
interesting
it all worked
start.
out. It might have been Carlos. I have no idea.
It could have been.
But so, yeah.
Very cool. Well, who is a candidate to come and learn from you?
Oh.
You know who?
You know what? It's really about passion. If
Okay.
you want to do this, you don't have to be crazy technical. You just need to want to learn how this works. Think of us as a trade school. This is a trade.
That's kind of what
You
I
know,
was thinking.
It's entertainment technology. It's anything from microphones, cameras, video switching, streaming, podcasting, all of that
All of
stuff.
it.
Our graduates don't just do sound for, like, we've got 5 folks that work for the Cincinnati Reds, and we have 7 or 8 that work for the Bengals, and different folks, but it's everything that people see and hear. Like, we have grads that do high-end content creation for Nationwide Insurance,
Right.
and Riverside Hospital, and all of these
All of
folks
these
that
things.
need great social media presence, you know. But there's a reason that stuff looks so great. There's a reason that stuff sounds so great. That's what we teach. And the public's demand for high-end production keeps increasing.
Of course.
I mean, think about it. We pulled our phone out of our back pocket and we watch it. And if this doesn't sound great or if it doesn't look great, it's super easy. Just go to the next thing, right?
Yes.
So that's what we do is we teach. So so the candidate, you were asking about the ideal candidate. It's really somebody that wants to do something with their life that they enjoy. And I get that not everybody is into music like I am, or into production like all of us in this room are. But for those that are, this is worth checking out.
Absolutely.
I mean, we give tours all day long.
Okay. That would be
it's
really
super easy.
cool.
I don't know if you can put this up on the screen or not, but we have a toll-free number. It's 1-800-848-9900.
Okay.
So you can call us and schedule a free tour.
And do you have like some social media sites where people can visit?
We do. We
so
have
they
a
can get all
YouTube
that?
channel. We also have a really cool website. Our website is simply therecw.com.
Okay, the rec W.
therecw.com. And there you can go to we have a 360 tour. So you can go into every single room and look around at every
Okay,
single
that's
room.
super cool.
And we have some great studios. The students actually learn in like super high-end recording studios. One of our rooms was designed by John Storick, who built Jimi Hendrix Studio.
Okay.
He built a studio
you
for
know,
us.
that
Guy.
fella.
Another is Stephen Doerr, who built studios for Garth Brooks and Zach Brown. We have one of his studios there too.
Okay.
And we have a podcast room, and we have 10 different studio classrooms, all different types of recording and mixing and anything that you might want to learn. And it's all part of a series of projects that encompass our class.
So let's talk about that for a minute. Like, how do people get signed up? How long? I mean, do you go in and just take a class here and take a class there? Is it an entire like degree?
It's not a degree.
How does it work?
It's a certificate program. We're licensed by the Ohio State Board of Schools and Colleges.
Okay.
And we offer our school. It's a short-term, hands-on program.
Okay.
So it's a 7-week program.
Okay.
Okay. If you take everything, it's broken into 5 weeks for what we call our core program, and then we have a 2-week advanced program. But all total 7 weeks if you want to do it. The 5-week program is $3,995.
Well,
Okay.
pretty good deal for a
Pretty good.
career.
Pretty good. And and not just that, but it's a good way to, even if this isn't for you, you know what I mean?
Right,
You didn't lose 2 and 4 years of your life.
What's
and
5 weeks out of your
150,000
life?
Right. But it's great fun at the same time. This may not be for everyone, but for those select few that go, that is for me, you should check it out. So we offer the school 7 times a year.
Okay.
One in the winter. The next one coming up is our early spring program, which is February 24th. And then in 7 weeks, April 15th-ish,
Okay.
we'll have another one. And so we have 2 in the spring, 2 in the summer, 2 in the fall, and then 1 in the winter. So as soon as we're done with one, we start a new one.
Well, how fortunate are we that we are so close to you that you could just drive there and
Right.
you're
Yeah,
not
you don't
having
even
to
have
stay
you don't even have
or
to
whatever.
get housing, right? Yeah, we do have housing on campus for all those that need it, but you don't need it if you're from the area.
Of course. Very
But
cool.
it's really, really cool.
How
I mean,
do you
I just
keep
really encourage
up
anybody-
with I mean, things are changing, equipment changes every day. How do you
We're buying gear all the time.
Yeah, I'll bet. But like
Yeah.
how do you even keep up with like the times, podcasts weren't a thing not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like how do you keep up with all of this?
Well, we have all of these grads. We have these 20-some thousand grads out in the field, and we have a great family situation with everyone.
Sure.
Like we were talking about Matt Billingsley. He's Taylor Swift's drummer. He's one of our grads, and Jordan, who does her ear mix, is one of our grads. And so we talk with folks all the time, and it's like, well, what kind of gear are you using? What do you think folks should really need to know coming out there?
Like
well,
in a
need
real
to-
life setting.
Right, right. Well, they need to know about how to handle all the RF, all the wireless stuff. Well, let's add some more classes about RF, you know.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say we have an advisory board, but we do have a lot of friends that's out there doing it. So it allows us to communicate with them and then continually adjust our curriculum.
I tell this all the time. A very wise man that was in the restaurant business for a really, really long time when Jamie and I were opening our first restaurant said, I'm going to tell you something. As he was helping us design our restaurant and all that, he was a good friend, and he said, I got one piece of advice for you. And I said, what's that? He said, don't reinvent the wheel. You're not smarter than anybody else. I promise you. And what he meant by that was use what works, talk to the people that have been there and done that,
Sure.
and find out what's working for them and what they're doing and do that. And it's the same with that's
Same way.
exactly what you just said.
Same way, yeah.
Yeah.
And in the process, make people feel special, give
Sure.
them great service, all
Absolutely.
that. That's what we try to do with the education, or if we're out doing a sound job at the Apple Festival or something
Yeah.
like that. Make sure that the guys in the red shirts are happy, and make sure that the Lady Antebellum's happy when
Yeah,
they roll
right,
in.
and whatever fun artist that you're using
whether
to
it's
doing the sound
raining
for.
or whatever it is, So we teach. That's another thing. We teach live sound at the school now. We rent the Majestic Theater in Chillicothe,
Yes.
which is a great theater, and we teach pro sound there, how to mix ears and monitors and
In a real life setting.
In a real life setting,
Which
with
is
real
huge.
speakers and how to stack the stuff up and how to hang them and fly them and all of that, and also professional lighting, how to program all that stuff that goes, and then we also have a 7-camera shoot that we do there as well, that we basically rebuilt the old movie projection room and built a TV studio in there. And we have cameras. We have PTZ cameras, which are pan, tilt, zoom, that we run on a joystick. But we also have cameras like you guys are using here, and how to switch, and then how to record all of it in a multi-track situation, and then how to broadcast it so it sounds good on live streams like YouTube and things like that.
Sure.
So that's part of the education as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is so cool. So how does someone sign up? How they get started?
Well, all you have to do is contact us either by calling the number and come take a tour. Especially those of you that's in the viewing area. I mean, you're right here within a 30-minute drive, probably.
You're probably in Chillicothe once a week. So
Yeah,
just call.
we've had students from all over the world. It's interesting. Just in the last few sessions, we've had folks from Switzerland, Canada, of course, all 50 states. One kid was 18, and he drove from California
To here.
to here, yeah, to come to school. So it was
Oh,
great.
my.
Yeah, right. But anyway, we if you want to come check us out, 1-800-848-9900 is the phone number, or visit us at www.therecwthercw.com, therecw.com.
Yep. And we are so conveniently located to this that you
Right.
can just drive over, take a
Right.
tour of the place, and Paul is amazing and the staff's amazing. So are there, you said that the kid was 18, are there
Like age-
requirements?
Not
for
really. I
age?
mean, we've had folks that are 17 with parents' permission,
Okay.
up to retirement age. Because again, this is kind of a passion thing.
Yeah.
Folks go, oh, I'm done working at the at the factory or whatever, and I've always been into music, and I need to learn how to do this. But I'm going to build a studio. But before I do that, maybe I should learn about it first.
Yeah,
So,
let's dip our toe in the water, see how we do.
right. So we have
that.
quite a lot of folks like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, thank you for doing what you do, because if you've heard a concert around here, if you've been to the Apple Festival, if you've been to the fairs, you've been wherever, this fella's had his hand in sound. I promise.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
for sure.
you do an amazing job, and you do wear a lot of hats, and I don't know how you juggle it all, but
Well,
thank you for
thank
what you
you.
do.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
course.
having me. This is always great fun to be
Oh,
here.
it is.
Right?
It's always a good time.
Right?
It is. It is.
We just need to bring Morgan back for an ending song,
I know,
and then we
could
can
have
do
had
that, right?
a whole thing
Right.
going on. All right. Well, Paul, we appreciate you so much. Don't be a stranger. Come back
Okay.
and see us.
Thank you so much.
All right. And our good friend Pete Wilson is waiting in the wings to tell us the latest and greatest on news. So we have another message, and then we'll be right back.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Hi, this is Ash giving you your 3-day weather forecast brought to you by Total Media. Monday, we have highs in the upper 20s and lows in the low teens with a 10% chance of precipitation. Going into Tuesday, we have partially cloudy skies with highs in the low 20s and lows in the mid-teens. And going into your Wednesday, we have precipitation coming back in with about 30% chance of snow with highs in the upper 20s and lows in the low teens.
All righty. And we are back. And Pete Wilson, I haven't seen you for like several days.
I was here.
I know.
Where
I
were
wasn't.
you? Okay. You were in a better place.
I was in a.
Boy, you came
I
back.
was in a warmer place.
You came back just in time, didn't you?
Boy, did I ever! Oh
absolutely.
my gosh!
Okay. Well, of
Jeez.
course, that is a good segue,
Segue, yes.
to our top news story, and that was the weather. You know, I'm always sorry to do that because it's usually bad. But this past weekend, we had a little bit of everything. A lot of rain, about 2 inches of rain, and you know people don't understand how much 2 inches of rain is. But
It's
if
a
you
lot.
were here on Saturday, you have an idea because it started raining early in the day and pretty much rained all day. Some of the rain was heavy, rained into Sunday, and the result, of course, is flash flooding.
Holy moly!
Of course, you know we have some flooding. That's not unusual, but probably this was a little more widespread, a little worse than what we usually have.
Yes.
Water in the familiar places, but more of it spread out a little farther. The list of roads that the Jackson County Engineers Office put out on Sunday morning was as long as your arm.
Yes.
A lot of them in the south part of the county, the southeast part of the county in particular. A lot of roads closed, not just you know the remote township and some of the county roads, but even some of the state routes covered.
93 right in front of Southview School. I mean, Jamie and I went through there yesterday morning early, and I was like, "This is not going to end well."
Right.
I mean, it is amazing the water, how it can be this deep, and it's scary how fast it goes.
Right. Well, I was up early on Sunday morning, and probably wasn't a good idea to try to go through Huron Street. It was marked with high water, but not blocked. I turned around. You could make it, but you know, if your car stalled out, that would be inconvenient. Of course, water all up on Manpower Park early in the day, and that's a little bit different since they did a drainage project there. It hasn't been as bad, but you know, when the creek comes up, there's not much you can do there. And then, of course, we do have a photo of the Eddie Jones Park / marina.
Such marina, yes.
Right. That,
With the ducks and the.
Right. Well, I didn't. The ducks hadn't arrived
I guess
yet.
they're probably somewhere south for the winter.
You know, I had another photo that I didn't send because it's just so hard to
Oh
show
my
in a tight
gosh.
photo. But this has some
Look
reference
at
points. You can see Jim Humphrey's Way. That's where you enter. Obviously, there's no way to enter the park. You see the sign in front of the park, Eddie Jones Park, halfway submerged in water. You see a sign there back of there where it says no parking. Or obviously, I don't think you're going to go in there and park. And you see how deep it is on some of the smaller trees there in the front of the park. I imagine that water is still there now, but flood warning, not a flood watch, a flood warning in effect all the way late Sunday evening. And then just to kind of round things out, we had a winter weather advisory thrown on us on Sunday. And on Sunday, temperatures went from the low 40s to the low 20s by the evening, and of course dropped into the teens overnight. Got 1.5 to 2 inches of snow thrown on top, and you got to realize it took a while for it to stick because of all the water.
It was so wet, yeah.
So now we have settled into just plain cold, it looks like. And I've never seen such a bounce back and forth on what to expect on Wednesday.
It's all over the place.
I have seen it go and come anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 to 8 to none.
To 30% chance
The
of
last time
flurries.
the last time I looked, none. As far as accumulation goes.
Yep.
So we will see that weather front, wherever it is now, must be bouncing all over the place.
It must be very erratic.
But anyway, we know we are going to have for sure some very cold temperatures into the teens most of these nights, so we need to be prepared for that. In addition to, the weather, the inconveniences of the weather, we had electric outages yesterday.
Man.
Some people may not have realized that. Not sure whether that's, I'm sure it's weather related, but we did have some outages in the city of Jackson that were kind of spread out at different times during the day. AEP Ohio had outages, not quite as many as we had several weeks ago when there were hundreds of them, but there were outages in both Jackson and Vinton counties by AEP Ohio customers and Buckeye Rural Electric customers. When I checked this morning, it was just a handful in single digits customers without power, and I presume, although I don't know for sure, that service has been restored in the city of Jackson. Of course, this was the President's Day holiday, so therefore, 3 of the school districts were planning to do an off day anyway. Now, Vinton County has missed so many days. They were going to go to school today as a makeup day. Well, it got canceled.
They couldn't, yeah.
Probably partially snow, partially flooding.
Yep.
I know that they're not doing the Vinton County Head Start today because of flooding, not because of snow. So we have a level 1 snow advisory or flood advisory, whatever reason we have a level 1, we have them in both.
Just be careful when you're driving.
We have it both in Jackson and Vinton counties right now. We're going to have an updated story in our Wednesday print edition. We already have an advanced version online about the school makeup days because all the districts that we have here in Jackson and Vinton counties, save the Jackson City School District, have surpassed their 5 calamity days, which means that you're allowed to miss those without having to make them up. So the school districts, Jeremiah Shaver got on the horn, got with the superintendents and found out what the contingency plans are. And so it's different. I know people want to look ahead. You're going to have to make up days after 5. And so most of the districts, if not all of them, have a plan, whether it's losing some holidays, losing some spring vacation, tacking on days at the end of the year, whatever. But anyway, that obviously is a moving target if we have more weather.
Well, it can get confusing from district to district.
Right. Well, we want to tell you a couple of big stories that happened over the weekend. We weren't here on Friday like you were, so we got to tell these. On Friday morning, we had a fatality-related crash on US 50 east of MacArthur, just about a mile out of town. And it involved a car and a trash truck. The car went over the center line, according to the Jackson Post of the Highway Patrol, and hit that trash truck head-on, a Rumpke truck.
Oh, man.
The man who was driving the car, 81-year-old Larry Martin of MacArthur, was pronounced dead at the scene. That occurred at 10:08 a.m. on Friday. Of course, we weren't on the news on Friday to tell you about it. We do have that story in the paper and posted on the website as well. Also, we want to tell you that on Thursday, we had the conclusion of a very big court case that we've talked about. We've tracked the incident that occurred last October and then the jury trial several weeks ago. That is the case of Stephen Kaiser. Kaiser was the man, there is Stephen Kaiser. He is the man who was charged with murder and 7 other felony counts in relation to the shooting death of his estranged wife, Tara Carper Kaiser, and in a subsequent standoff after he shot his wife, he was accused and convicted of shooting at law enforcement officers. Thankfully, no one was shot there. But sentencing came on Thursday, and Judge Reagan handed down a sentence. Are you ready for this? 133 and a half years to 138 and a half years to life. In other words, I don't think anyone's ever lived past, 120 or whatever. But that sentence actually goes to the middle of the next century.
Okay.
So Randy Dupree, who is Jackson County's prosecuting attorney, and Judge Reagan both commented during the sentencing, which was Thursday afternoon in Jackson County Common Pleas Court, that because of this case, because of Mr. Kaiser's criminal history of violence, because of the nature of this case, because he has shown no remorse, at least that they know of, they threw the book at him, so as to speak.
Okay.
And they want to make sure that he never gets out of prison again. So that story written in detail in Saturday's print edition and, of course, on the website and hooked to our social media as well. That's the case of Stephen Kaiser. Covered court cases for a long time. I never remember one where the years went into the triple digits. So that is what basically happened there. There's been a lot of cases where there's been multiple charges, but a lot of times when you pancake them, they become what they call concurrent.
Right.
Meaning that, 5 years for this, 5 years for this, 5 years for this, but the second and third are concurrent, which means it's 5 years. In this one, every one was a pancake. Another 5 years, another 7 years, another 11 years. It added up to 133 and a half to 138 and a half years. All right, really quickly, a couple of other things we want to tell you about. We have a boys tournament game tonight. The boys basketball tournament postseason starts tonight.
Okay.
The Wellston Golden Rockets are at West Union. That is down in Adams County. And the winner of that game will play top-seeded Minford next Friday evening in Waverly. Wellston has a shot at this, even though they're on the road. West Union has the better seed, which means they get to host. But that game will be on the radio tonight at 7 p.m. on WYPC 1330 AM and 105.3 FM. All of our boys teams will be playing tournament games. Jackson got a bye because of their good record. They won't have to play until next week. However, I believe that Vinton County plays on Thursday at Hillsborough, and Oak Hill plays on Friday at Wheelersburg. So, we'll remind you of all those as well. We also want to...
Exciting.
Yes, it is. And we want to tell you real quick about a traffic pattern change in downtown Jackson. Maybe you've noticed if you've driven through town. We talked about this last week when you were here, so we're going to catch you up on it.
Okay.
The city is trying a new traffic control change in the downtown area with its traffic lights. They plan to do 3 different intersections. This is the intersection of Columbia and Main as you are heading east. You see the sign, new traffic pattern ahead. The traffic light there is flashing yellow now on Main Street. It is flashing red on Columbia Street. That started on Friday.
Why can't I think of where Columbia Street is?
Okay, well, it's
Is that the mail? Is that where you go to put your mail out in the box?
Yeah, well, Columbia. No, it's not quite that far. Columbia Street.
I know, before the post office.
Yeah, Columbia Street.
Okay,
is right before the post office. You're right, and right before the Lewis and Gillum Funeral Home.
Yes.
Right, but anyway, flashing yellow. Do you know what that means?
Caution.
This is very important. It means that you can go, but caution.
Caution.
Right.
Yes.
You know what flashing red means? It's not
Stop.
the same as red light. Right.
It means stop your car.
Right. And when can you go then?
When somebody that is going through the yellow light isn't coming.
That's exactly right. On the intersecting street, you can't,
Yes.
So flashing red means stop. You have to stop even if you don't see any traffic. Then when you see that you have clearance and you can go either way.
Okay.
You can go. And on flashing yellow,
Interesting.
it's not like a green light. You shouldn't just through there. You slow down because there's traffic coming from the intersection,
Yes.
perhaps. If this works, this is a trial, but if this works, they fully intend to do the same thing at the corner of Main and Church Streets.
Okay.
Just a block towards the middle of town, and then at Main and Portsmouth Streets, where there's that
Okay.
traffic light.
Yep.
Main and Broadway will remain the traffic light. All the other traffic lights will remain the same, but those are the three intersections affected. I don't know when they may try the Main and Church, but if this works, they figured this was the prime test case because Columbia, there's not as much traffic on Columbia as there is on the other two. So that's the situation, Jennifer.
Pay attention,
We'll
folks.
look for that. What I would say is because we have not had a lot of flashing yellows and flashing reds, that is the big concern. I think it could be a very good change. The idea is to keep the traffic flow going on
Sure.
East Main Street. But you have to know what to do with a flashing yellow and a flashing red.
Yep.
Flashing red, most important. That doesn't mean you can go with caution. That means you stop and then you go with caution.
Think of it as a stop sign on that side.
Right, yeah,
And
almost like that. The ODOT had recommended maybe trying four-way stops, and the city thought this was better.
I mean, I'm all for keeping the traffic flowing through town.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
sometimes it can get a little backed up.
Right. Okay. Well, tomorrow,
Good deal.
if I get to come back, we'll talk about some President's Day stuff that we didn't have time for today.
Okay.
But there's some neat presidential history that has to do with Jackson County.
Love
So
that.
we'll tell you a little bit about that, along with
Very
the other
fun.
news, if we can.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right.
Well, Pete, thank
Always,
you.
always could be preempted by weather stories. You
That
understand
is true. You know,
All right.
heck, who knows? We just wing it around here, right?
We do what we have. There are no scripts.
No, there are not. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Be a little careful out there, cautious if you're walking. There is a little black ice. Don't drive through water. I'm trying to tell people all of the things not to do, to be safe.
Right, and
Just be
and
safe.
here's the thing. Jackson does not have like rivers or anything. They have creeks and small streams. They come up quickly. Maybe the water also goes down quickly, but there's no way that law enforcement and the highway people can get to everywhere when the water comes up over the road. You've got
Use
to
your
use
common
some
sense.
common sense. And when in
Absolutely.
doubt, turn around.
Turn around. Absolutely.
Right.
So,
They have better things to do than come and pull you out of the water or maybe save your
or
life.
save your life. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. I see with maybe Bob Grillo and Jeff Thacker and another guest. So sounds like fun. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.